last time on Behind the Machine. James Stewart won another 2 motos at Texas, but the sound of Ryan Dungey's KTM was always there.
I haven't seen anybody this close to him for this long ever.
Moto 1 in Colorado was shaping up to be another brawl until Stewart went down and injured his wrist, keeping him from returning for the second moto. Ryan Dungey was able to give KTM the win they had been working towards for the past 3 years.
You build up these barriers in your head like there's no way you can do this, but if you believe in it truly enough, a way will create itself and it will happen.
This week we explore KTM's equal devotion to winning a championship in the 250 class. And to do so, they were bringing 2 of their European world champions to America.
When I was racing, I wanted to race wherever there was the best riders. I felt that if you want to be the best in the world, it was not good enough to just race in Europe.
Just like KTM, their 250 class riders are trying to establish themselves in unfamiliar territory. Both Roczen and Marvin Musquin have already won championships in Europe. But the challenge of winning in the most prestigious outdoor series in the world has brought both of them to the United States.
I got 2 world championships in 2 years, but my goal was to race in America.
I didn't stay to defend because I wanted a new challenge, you know. My dream always was to come over here to the US and race with the top guys.
In 2011, Roczen won the MX2 World Championship riding a KTM. But rather than preserve his title in Europe, he decided to join forces with Roger DeCoster's team in America.
Once he went to KTM, then everything kind of like came together, you know.
I think it's because he wants to be the best.
Just 18 years old, Roczen opened the 2012 season with a great start at Hangtown.
He goes to the outside, and into the number 1 ride is Roczen.
After leading Moto 1 for 12 laps, Roczen was passed by Blake Baggett just a few turns from the finish.
Baggett, one of the greatest comebacks in the history of the Hangtown Classic.
Why did it feel so heavy? Like it was almost...
European riders have been known to struggle with fitness during their first years in the US. Throughout the season, Roczen continued to struggle with getting past in the final laps.
Shoulder to shoulder, it's going to be Tomac. Tomac takes over the lead.
Once you're here full time and do the Supercross season and then outdoor season after that, it's tough, and I think it was more difficult than he expected.
The heat is a big issue from them coming from Europe to get used to.
I had a lot of issues with getting sick and my immune system was just so down.
In order to match his American rivals, Roczen is working with veteran Andrew Short at his ranch in Texas.
Now Ken knows the elements, so it's up to him whether he's going to change and adapt or stay the same.
First-year struggles in the United States are something that Roczen's teammate Marvin Musquin knows all too well. After winning back-to-back titles in Europe, he moved to the US in 2011 with the hope of conquering the American Series.
The first year was a nightmare for me.
First, after an injury, you have surgery and recovery. It wasn't easy.
Being a little step ahead of everyone in Europe, the guys kind of respect him a little bit more. And over here, this competition don't really care who you are.
We arrived in America and we realized that people didn't really look at the world champion title.
Without a chance to truly prove himself in his rookie season, Musquin hoped for a strong 2012.
Let's go! Marvin Musquin's now back to 8th.
Still feeling the effects of his hand injury, his average finish was 6th in the first 7 rounds. And he was nearly 100 points outside the championship lead going into round 7 at Washougal.
This year, I think he found he needed to push his limits if he wants to win.
Musquin goes on to the inside. Musquin has taken over the number 4 position.
At the beginning of the year, he came in with a hand injury and he struggled, but he basically had to work his butt off. The awesome part is he did it and he got a win towards the end of the year.
Musquin, the former world champion, making his move right now and able to shut the door.
First overall today is going to be Marvin Musquin. His first overall outdoor win in the U.S.
Marvin Musquin was not the only success for KTM at Unadilla. Ken Roczen's training during the season paid off with a first-place finish in Moto 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Ken Roczen!
No doubt we believe in those guys. I mean, they're stepping into an existing battle that they weren't fighting. They're doing something different, and it's going to take them a little bit of time.
It's tough. These guys here don't back off for a second.
Despite his struggles, Ken Roczen finished 4th in the championship and will look to raise his fitness to stage another run at the title in 2013.
He's definitely got the ability to do everything that he's been hyped up to do, and he's a fighter. He wants to win more than anything.
If I would have come over and win right away, it would be nice for sure, but I knew it was not going to be like that, and I really like the challenge. I like to figure things out.
Marvin Musquin's steady improvement culminated with an overall win at Unadilla and a 5th-place finish in the championship.
You know, he has the speed, he has the ability, but he needs to get stronger mentally.
Yeah, I know that Roger believes in me. It's good to know that he's 100% behind me, but it's not only him, you know, it's the team, the factory in Austria. There's a lot of people.
We see opportunity, we see the talent, we see what those guys can achieve, and it'll be a better and more sweet story if we can do it together.
Next time on Behind the Machine, a 3-year pursuit of a major championship in America has reached its final stage. They first hired the best manager in the sport, who in turn built a capable machine for a 4-time champion. In the season finale, KTM, Roger DeCoster, and Ryan Dungey are on the verge of making motocross history.